Yeah, just like the women's game, the men's game down in Charlottesville is about as tight as you can get it. 9-9 entering the fourth quarter now. Both teams came out and playing with a lot of energy. Virginia especially, they came out super hot, coming in with something to prove. Started off the scoring 2-0 before Owen Hiltz finally got the orange on the board. 4 minutes in, Virginia completely controlled the first quarter. At one point led 5-1 with 4 different goal scorers. Trey Deer didn't get the start today. Peyton Anderson took that spot, and oh my goodness, SportsCenter top 10 for that one. Peyton Anderson proving himself, beating the buzzer in the first quarter. Syracuse trying to keep its winning streak alive, and going into halftime, Virginia was actually up 6-4, and then all of a sudden Michael Leo took over in the third quarter. 3 goals for him. Syracuse started off the third quarter on a 4-0 run, but Virginia came right back. All tied up. It should be a pretty good one going into the rest of this game. Syracuse traveled out west to beat California 33-25 in an ACC battle. The Golden Bears actually 10-point favorites coming into the game. So let's see how the Orange got it done in Berkeley. Start off in the second quarter. LaQuinn Allen spurts away for a 30-yard rushing touchdown. That makes it 13-0 early for the Orange. Just 2 plays later, though, Javian Thomas, a 75-yard rushing touchdown. That was one of only 3 of his carries for the day. Jaden Knott carried most of the load for the Golden Bears. Then LaQuinn Allen again makes a man miss and dances into the end zone at the goal line to make it 20-7. Then the second quarter gets even better for the Orange. Jackson Meeks, a 6-yard touchdown pass from Kyle McCord, 27-7 Syracuse. But the Golden Bears weren't going away in the second half. Jaden Knott, a 15-yard touchdown run. And then with 1 minute left, Jonathan Brady, a 5-yard touchdown pass from Fernando Mendoza. They convert the 2-point conversion, and then Syracuse recovers the onside kick to finish out the win. So Fran Brown gets to take a shower, and Syracuse improves to 7-3 and 4-3 in the ACC. They return home in the Dome to play Connecticut on Saturday. A world championship is most players' ultimate career goal. But 2 in your first 2 seasons for your hometown team, that's something of storybooks and boyhood dreams. In 2018, when a video emerged of him pushing and kicking a woman in a hotel, Kareem Hunt was a name unspoken in Kansas City. Now he's on the road to redemption, trying to win a Super Bowl for the team that cut him. I mean, I think you have to go with Michael Leo. I mean, the guy had 4 points. He picked up a caused turnover and assist. He just looked very polished. He was a good player last year. Looks even better this year. The most important performance, though, I think I might have to go with John Mullen, the face-off guy. They lose Mason Cone from last year. Maybe not sure how the face-offs would go. I mean, Mullen played pretty well, 14 for 22 for face-offs, and he didn't even play most of the fourth quarter because they were up so big. I'd say that was the most important thing we saw in the win. Super Bowl 59 will be the 11th in New Orleans, but the Superdome hasn't always been the venue. The first Super Bowl Louisiana hosted was right here at what used to be Tulane Stadium.
In January 1970, Super Bowl IV was also the Chiefs' first Super Bowl win. Entering the game in New Orleans, the Minnesota Vikings were a whopping 13-point favorites. But Len Dawson and the Chiefs took home the World Professional Football Championship trophy and won 23-7. It was the final Super Bowl trophy not named after Vince Lombardi. Every ticket in the stadium was $15, compared to this year, where the cheapest ticket is over $2,500.
Come on, Lenny! Pump it in there, baby! Just keep matriculating the ball down the field, boys.
In Super Bowl IV, Chiefs coach Hank Stram was the first coach to ever be mic'd up for the Super Bowl.
65 toss power try, yeah! I tell you that,
Giving fans a never-before-seen perspective into the game. CBS was the station that carried the game, but erased the videotape a few days later because networks didn't believe the games were worth saving. The old footage we see today is thanks to a Canadian network who did save the tape.
Prices, players, and media have all changed, and Tulane Stadium was demolished in 1979. But the Super Bowl has reigned supreme as football's ultimate pinnacle, with New Orleans serving as a familiar backdrop. At Tulane University, Riley Underwood. This afternoon, Syracuse will be taking on California in an ACC battle that features strength versus weakness. The weakness, Syracuse turning the ball over. The strength, the Golden Bears causing them. And it all starts with their main man in the secondary, Noel Williams. He leads the nation with 7 interceptions. This guy is just a pure ball hawk. If you throw it up to him, he's going to get it. Quarterbacks are scared to throw on his side of the field, and here you see him now picking off Cam Ward of Miami. He takes it back for a pick 6. He has some serious speed. He also has a kickoff return for a touchdown on the year. And for Syracuse, it's been the interceptions, turning the ball over. Kyle McCord leads the nation in interceptions with 12. Well, I got my summertime staple, even though it doesn't feel like it. And the Syracuse Mets fans I talked to said that the time they get to spend together here at the ballpark makes it all worth it. A Super Bowl win would be the icing on the cake for an already Hall of Fame career. But for Hopkins, this game seems like the only one that's ever mattered. Throughout the week here in New Orleans, I've got to talk to all the players from both teams, but since we're talking entertainment, I figured I'd talk to some of the most entertaining and interesting characters I found. Syracuse's offseason has been labeled one of major turnover, new coach, new quarterback. But that's not really the full story. Syracuse actually top 10 in the nation in returning production. Ohio, on the other hand, 133 out of 134. Syracuse's offense has been rocking so far this season. Kyle McCord's been throwing dots and the receivers have been catching them. Through the first 2 weeks, Rondé Gadsden and Trevor Pena were the top receiving touchdown duo in the nation. The last time that Syracuse beat 2 ranked opponents in the regular season was all the way back in 2001. They have a chance to do it again on Friday night. I think Drake's been playing really well. A 30-win team, Ben McCollum and Bennett Sturts, that seems like that dynamic duo for the Bulldogs. I think they're going to win their first round game, and I think they could maybe even win a couple more after that. A more safe pick from a power conference, I think you could go with Arkansas. I think John Calipari is a March man. I think he's made for it, and I think they have another guy that's made for March as well, and John L. Davis. He's the point guard for the Razorbacks, and he's a player that led Florida Atlantic to the Final Four 2 years ago. I think maybe we could see a repeat of that success in this one, winning a few games in the tournament. 13 offensive rebounds already. They're really doing a good job getting in there. Marissa Chapman has been exceptional on that side of the ball on offense, but getting those boards, try to get more of those points in the paint, though. That's what I'd like to see. Get those second chance opportunities, because you get those offensive rebounds, try to put it back up, make some points off of it. You also have to protect the ball. When you're playing a Power 5 team like Syracuse, who does turn the ball over, you can't give it right back. So protecting that ball, really holding it like a prized possession, and taking good calculated shots. It's okay to run the shot clock down a little bit. For Yale, that's my keys. I have Houston. I don't think you can bet against Kelvin Sampson this year. I know I pick him almost every year, but this year I think is going to be the time, because Houston's usually a team that really grits it out, plays really well defensively. And this year they do grit it out and play it really well defensively, but they also shoot the 3 ball as well as any team in the tournament, almost 40% coming into March. And I don't think the Cougars are going down without a fight. They've won 12 straight. They haven't lost a game that didn't go into overtime since November 9th, and that was against Auburn. I think they're going to get revenge on the Tigers. It's time to challenge is number 15 Harvard, the first matchup between the two teams since 2009. Syracuse is 18-0 all-time against the Crimson, and again, Syracuse would start off hot. Spallina over to Hiltz, and then Sam English rifles one into the back of the net. SU led 5-0 just 6 minutes in. We go to the closing seconds of the first quarter. Off the turnover, Joey Spallina finds Finn Thompson all alone for the goal. Orange up 6-3 after the first. Under 8 minutes to play in the second, Finn Thompson, again, one of his 5 goals on the day. Owen Hiltz had a big game as well. He chipped in 4 goals for the Orange. On the man up late in the second, Syracuse takes a 2-goal lead into the break. But Harvard would outscore Syracuse 4-2 in the third. Crimson on the man up in the fourth, and Sam King shoots and scores. Harvard takes a 15-13 lead. SU would get within 1 score. Michael Leo trying to tie it up. No, Graham Stevens too strong in net. Stevens finished with 13 saves in the win, and Syracuse suffers its second straight loss, falling to Harvard 15-14. SU head coach Gary Gates said that his team needs to treat every game the same. But I'm going to go with a guy that played for Syracuse, not last year, but 4 years ago. Kadari Richmond, the 3rd leading scorer for St. John's. He has the number 2 seed rolling going into this one. He scored in double figures in 16 of the last 17 games. He's in his 5th year now. He's playing for the Red Storm, and I think he's trying to make it a Red Storm in March. Welcome into sports. I'm Riley Underwood. With Syracuse basketball season over, it's a new reality. Everyone's asking the same question: who's transferring? Today we got two more answers. It's Chris Bell and Elijah Moore. Jaquan, you were my player to watch before the game. You made me look like a smart guy. What was the key to be so successful today and get a double-double in the win?
That just shouts out to my teammates. We was playing together. We should have did a better job on defense, giving up 73 points, but that's just all to my teammates. The coaches put me in the right position, and those guys made a lot of shots today, so kudos to them.
Well, I think with Judah Mintz, you see a lot of isolation play, and that works to a certain extent when you play those weaker non-conference teams. When you got into ACC play and you tried to do that, everyone knew where the ball was going. It was going to Judah Mintz. And now, when Jaquan Carlos, you have all these other weapons around you, you can really facilitate, run some pick and roll with the big man Eddie Lampkin, and really expand the offense and scoring potential.
Before the season starts, I want you on the record. What defines a successful season this year for the Orange?
Andrew, I think a successful season is NCAA tournament berth. We saw it last year. They didn't make it. They were on the back end of the bubble, but I'd like to see an NCAA tournament berth finish top 5 in the ACC. They were tied for 5th last year. I think with this expanded conference, if you finish top 5 this year, you're probably in the tournament, especially if you can win some of those key non-conference games. I would have to go with J.J. Starling. He ended up as the second leading scorer for this team in the first half, but he did it very efficiently, 100% from the floor, and somehow the leading returning scorer from last year is kind of slipping under the radar for this team. J.J. Starling, my most impressive player for the first half.
And for you in the second half, with Starling a returner, he could really shoot it, and he was so efficient. Who do you want to see more of, though? Who did you not see enough, and you want to see themselves prove themselves in the second half?
Well, Andrew, I want to see the Choppa come out. I want to see Elijah Moore in this one. I think he's a really big part of this offense. He can shoot the ball lights out. Only 3 shots so far and 1 make, but he showed that he can drill it from deep, and I think he's a player that can step up, especially with these main starters maybe taking a break as the Orange lead continues. This is a player who can just purely score the ball. I mean, she's really improved her game from last year. She didn't even average 4 points. Now she's averaging 17 and 10 and shooting 47% from 3. She didn't make a 3 last year. This shooting guard is a true shooting guard. He can pull up from anywhere beyond the arc, arguably the best shooter in this recruiting class.
And